shit. Oh, boy. This is the LSU postgame show. This is AYS. This is the LSU baseball postgame show. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Well, you lose game one. I want to come out of the gate and say this. You have two more. You possibly have two more. It's a must win. You want to be able to take game one. The chances of you winning back-to-back games in a series like this is very tough. Very hostile environment. A head coach on the other side that acts honestly just doesn't give a shit. Doesn't care about morals, really. Doesn't care about ethics, and really kind of feels like he doesn't. He just plays by his own set of rules. But LSU did struggle tonight. We will pull up all of your comments tonight. Let me put this in. Everyone do us a favor and hit the like and share. You know what this does do for me, though? It does give me a chance to get ready for football season as we do the post-game show there. Well, shit. This is going to be the biggest question. It's from Brian. He asked, why take Hilliard out? Why? We'll get to that. Let's do this very quickly. Let's pay some bills. We get to all the comments like we do on every post-game show. If it's your first time joining us, we get your comments. We talk back and forth about this game, but we got to get over to our good friends over at betonline.ag. Guys, with Louisiana about to pass the gambling mobile bill, you got to head on over to BetOnline and sign up today. As June is heating up, so is BetOnline. Hockey, basketball, baseball, football is right around the corner. Go over to betonline.ag. Use your mobile device to sign up. They'll give you the 50% welcome bonus, and they will know since you are in the state of Louisiana that your good friend Mr. Blake Ruffino from AYS sent you on by. That's betonline.ag. betonline.ag. Use that mobile device to sign up today, and you will not regret it. Okay, let's do it. There we go. Let's do this. Let's get to all these comments. So Brian Parent mentioned, why did they take out Hilliard? I don't know. Maybe I highly doubt that Hilliard said that his arm was hurting, that he was tired. Look, Javen Coleman, what was it? 20 straight innings. 21 straight innings. He'd only given up 2 runs. And then he did what he did, or 3 runs. And then he did what he did at Oregon. It is an iffy call there. It is a very questionable call. He gets rocked. But look, let's call a spade here too. But once Chad Dallas, by the way, Chad Dallas looks like a guy who would be named Chad Dallas. The guy just drives me nuts. Also, if I was Paul Mainieri, I would have gone out there and figured out why that. And I hate to say it like this. I know it's a post-game show. We can let loose a little bit sometimes. But why in the hell was that dude messing with his junk the whole time? I mean, I grew up in a household, or not necessarily grew up, but damn near grew up in a household where I had 2 guys that are my cousins that play college baseball. I know when a guy's using stuff to get a better grip on the ball. He was playing with the junk every time he came off whether LSU got a hit, whether he struck somebody out, he's going in and he's grabbing his junk. I mean, stop the game, figure something out. I'm not going to tell you to tell a guy to pull his britches down, but good googly moogly. I mean, am I the only person that saw Chad Dallas grabbing his junk all night? Anyway, but look, let's say this. The Javen Coleman giving up the 3 runs, I get it, but LSU cannot have Trey Morgan have 4 strikeouts, Dylan Cruz go 1 for 4, Gavin Dugas going 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. That can't happen. So the entire top half of your order, the top of your order that's been so stellar for you just struggled. Very much struggled. And if that's going to happen, you're not going to win tomorrow. Craig Schilling says, been here before. You know what to do. And Byford says, tough loss. Yeah, you've been there before. You've been here before. I know everybody's freaking out like we just lost the series. I get it. But we didn't lose the series. You still have tomorrow, and the good thing is, as we have up top in the comment section, you have Landon Marceaux going tomorrow. They do not have Chad Dallas. I do think that LSU could. I was hoping that LSU tonight could steal a game, right? Like you got to come out and they get up early. K. Doty hits a bomb, the pouring down rain. Everything was going against LSU in this game today, but that doesn't really mean anything. You were hoping that they could steal a game coming out. I'm going to get to this one too because Jeremy says Beloso don't need to see the plate again this year. I hate to say this, and I know that some parents of LSU players have kind of ripped me on this, but it's kind of what we get paid to do here. K. Beloso has been struggling. What did they say tonight? He hasn't gotten a hit. What was it? They said early May, late April, early May. Hasn't got. Yeah, they said he didn't get a hit, hadn't gotten a hit since April. Guys, think about that. We're in the month of June, and the kid hasn't had a base hit since April. Look, Brody Drost has had his struggles. Safford has had his struggle. Guys have had their struggles, but you got to find somebody that can go in there and hit. I hate to say it like this, but Braden Doty gives you a better plate appearance than K. Beloso at this point. He's lost at the plate. He's trying to pull everything. His approach at the plate is just completely Rudy poo at this point. It's really bad. I would have to ask maybe a hitting coach. Because the only thing I'm seeing is he's trying to go. I don't know. It's just a goofy ass swing. When he connects, he hits the ball extremely hard. When he doesn't, he just looks lost at the plate. He looks like a guy that's putting way too much pressure on himself as well. Chris Barnhill says pull Hilliard too early and it cost us. Yeah, look, I'm not going to freak out, and even if we lose tomorrow, I'm not going to freak out about tonight. Look, if you're LSU, you're in this team, in this situation, you're going to have to probably get this series to 3 games anyway. I did not see LSU coming in here and sweeping. However, you would have hoped to steal game 1 and a possibility of having Marceaux on the bump tomorrow. So we'll see. Look, there is no holds bars tomorrow. There is no holds bars. You got to pull everything out of the hat. I don't think – here's the good thing. LSU gets 2 runs. They keep the game close. You're not going to have performances like you did from Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz. And look, I don't want to say Dylan Cruz played bad, but even the base running, Drew Bianco has been your MVP at the plate. Let's just call it what it is. I get the home runs from Cruz and all this, but when shit hits the fan, it feels like Drew Bianco's always there for you. I don't know if Paul's going to tinker the lineup, but I don't know if you don't try to find a way to put that kid in the 2-hole because it seems like he's always finding way. Look, I don't want him to tinker the lineup at all, actually. I kind of want him to leave it the same. But at the same time, you got to find a way for that guy to get up on the top of your lineup. You got to find that way. We'll see. I don't think that he's going to tinker with it. Maybe he shouldn't, but it will be interesting. Look, guys, I'm going to say this too. Paul Maneri's coaching for his career tomorrow. So let's not take that lightly. Let's not take that lightly. And I thought Javen Coleman came in after that bad inning and really dealt well. Val Browning says 7, 8, 9 hitters have zero expectations, have to do better. Yeah, and what's crazy, because I feel like Jordan Thompson is a really good hitter, but he's not going to see anything. He's not going to see a fastball. Look what he had to do right there at the last plate appearances. He saw one fastball there at the end. Everything else, he's having to foul off. Tennessee, Oregon, nobody puts any respect on the back end of that lineup. So, look, you can't change anything now. You're in the supers. You're not going to change anything now, so we shouldn't even be wanting them to change. Look, you're there. Adam Contreras says 16 strikeouts hurts more than pulling here you did. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Guys, you can't strike out 16 times and think you're going to win the game. Regardless of what Coleman did, you had a lot of chances, like right there at the end in the 9th inning. You got bases, runners on second and third. You got ducks on the pond. You got to be able to score them. You got to find a way. 16 strikeouts is not going to get you there. It's not going to get you there. So, That sucks. Alex Rabelais, what's up, Alex? He says Cruz and Morgan have to bring it at the plate. Both have been bad the last 2 games. Can't expect to keep winning when they're slumping. No, you're not going to win when they're slumping. You're not, because they are the heart and soul of your team. You're not going to win when they're slumping. Someone asked me about the lemon pepper wings I cooked tonight. Yeah, they were good, but this is the post-game show. We're not talking about lemon peppers, even though I'd like to. Maybe we'll talk about it Monday. Brandon on Facebook says, and stop striking out. Yeah, and it's going to be the same sentiment. Doug says 16 Ks, 0-8 with runners in scoring position won't win you games. It's time to let the pitchers hit instead of Beloso DHing. It's just the truth. I mean, it is just the truth. Nookie says 227, but he doesn't strike out. Look, I feel like our approach at the plate. We got a Vol in here. K Reeves 500 says go Vols. But our approach at the plate is really shitty, especially from guys like Beloso. I mean, sit back in the plate, take the ball the other way. I mean, I've been saying that all year. I can sit out here and yell. I can sit out here and scream. But this is Paul Maneri's career. If he's not going to change it, he wants to run Beloso out there. Hey, I'm not retiring, brother. I'm going to fire this son bitch up Monday morning. It don't matter to me. But if you're going to run that guy out there, you got to understand he's not going to get you where you want to go. He's not. I would rather Brody Drost be out there and give you the chance of running into one and hitting one out that bitch than K Beloso, because he just doesn't give you a chance. Richie Burt says you want to replace him with another hitter that'll look lost and strike out. I get what you're saying, and that somewhat is true when you talk about Beloso, but he hasn't gotten a hit. I don't think we understand. He hasn't gotten a hit since April, guys. I would rather Brody Drost, who has 5, 6, 7 hits since May, middle May, than a guy that doesn't have a hit since April. Brother, he's 0-27 or something like that. I mean, he hadn't gotten a hit. And Devin Stipe says 315 from your 1 through 4 guys. Yeah, you can't. That to me, this is the stat that lost you the game. It had nothing to do with Cole. I mean, look, it did have something to do with it. You're up 2-1. Coleman gives up 3 runs. You go down 4-2. I mean, absolutely, that has something to do with it. But you have to expect. This is just my thought process on this. You have to expect that they're going to answer. You have to expect that the number 3 seed or number 3 team in the country is going to find a way to score runs. That has no problem. When you go 3 of 15 and you have 16 strikeouts, you can't have that in today's baseball. You're going to lose. Getting 2 runs in a super regional is not going to win you the game. You can have Maikel Hilliard go out there and look. Maikel Hilliard showed that he had big balls again tonight. I hate to say it like that, but the kid has shown up. He, quite honestly, maybe outside of Beloso, he might be your MVP since May. I mean, Maikel, when Hill went down and then they found a way to get Hilliard in the starting rotation, he has been your MVP. We'll see. And look, if LSU finds a way to win tomorrow, no doubt I feel like you're going to see Maikel Hilliard again. Could you imagine Hilliard starting 2 games in a super regional? But I feel really good. I feel much more better about tomorrow than I do tonight. I did not feel good about tonight. I think Chad Dallas is a really good pitcher, and I thought that LSU, as they normally do, and as LSU has done all season long, whether it be regionals, whether it be SEC play, whether it be midweek games, it doesn't matter. LSU never starts off early. I was surprised to see K. Doty run into one when the monsoon that hasn't come down as hard that we've seen from Noah's Ark. I mean, that's how hard it was raining there in the 40 days and 40 nights. He runs into one in a ball that hasn't landed yet. And he got hot. So we'll see. Seabass Fishing on Twitter says, why not sit on an outside fastball and yak the reliever the other way? I don't know. That's just not been their approach. Curtis brings up an interesting point here, too. He says, what about the strike zone? That guy was horrendous. You guys know me well enough to know I am not the individual that likes to run out here and start making excuses and start blaming umpires. That's not me. Like, you have more plate appearances, but this guy was horrendous. I mean, if you were going to give a button or a sticker for the Rudy Poo of the week, that guy will be it, because I don't know what's a strike in his world. You want to talk about Javen Coleman giving up 3 runs? You know, I forgot my pad in the other room, but I mean, he had, I think, 4 or 5 pitches right there in the first 3 batters that were surefire strikes, and he called them balls. So, Robbie Robeek, what's up, Robbie? He says, hello, everyone. The kid looks lost at the plate. Don't get me wrong. The whole team did tonight, but Beloso has been terrible all year long. Tony Two Bets on Twitter says, nope, he was in there after every pitch. Who you talking about, Tony? Steven says, Cruz sliding off the bag is little league. Got to be better than that. I kind of feel like I'm going to give and look, I agree with you. That's not acceptable. I'm going to agree with you, Steven, that it's not acceptable. What I'm not going to necessarily agree with is, I mean, look, you go from an entire season playing on a real field to that. Now you gotta know those situations. You do have to know that you're going to slide. That's a very tough break. A very, very, very tough break. So we'll see. We'll see. Blake Press says LSU has the advantage the next 2 days. Got to take what you want. I agree. I still do believe that they have the advantage. Blaine Smith says, can DiGiacomo DH? I don't know that. I feel like DiGiacomo would have been out there, right? If he would, DiGiacomo would have played, and probably Arnold or somebody would have played DH'd. If DiGiacomo could have gone, I think he would have. So it does feel like that he it just feels like he might still be hurt, which his hamstring's been hurting him all season long. So Jonathan Shadood said behind the plate wasn't consistent. No, he was downright trash. I mean, I hate to say it like that, guys, but that guy was horrendous. I mean, I've never seen an umpire when a kid throws a fastball on the outside outer half at the belt and it touches the outside of the plate, not call it a strike. But this guy was so lost. I mean, people make the joke about guys being behind the plate and using robots and using, since everything's digital and streaming now, let them count it. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, personally, I feel like it takes the human element out of the game. But when you're that shitty, I mean, look, we're in super regional play. We're in super regional play. But just an all-around horrible, horrible game for the umpire behind the plate. Stephen says, #Ask Blake, hearing rumblings from a former player about Jeff Willis possibly getting an interview. Of course you are, and I know that player. I know where that came from. Tell my man to chill out. But yes, tell my man to relax on that one. Jeff Willis, the coach at LSU Eunice, he ain't going to be the next head coach at LSU. Just telling you that right now. But he's begging. Jeremy Marshall says, easier said than done sliding on wet turf. I agree with that part, right? Like, I do agree that it's much tougher to do that, but you do have to know the elements of what everything's given you. Like, you do have to know that you're going to slide, especially when Bianco almost came off the bag, 5 innings before that? I mean, you got to know that. Again, that's a tough break for a kid who hasn't been able to play on the turf field much. We'll see. Brian Williams says, if Gio plays, Arnold would DH. I agree with that. And so it kind of just goes to show you, he's just not ready. Darren says, ask Blake Beloso is 0 for 13. Guys, you can't have that. I mean, I get it, but mix it up. If the other guys are going to strike out too, I mean, shit. I mean, Brody, if you're going to strike out, if you're not going to get on base, at least draws gives you a chance to run into one. My brother, okay, he says, our approach at the plate with a dominant pitcher was poo. You have to think Oppo, our right-handed hitters swinging to pull at the outside pitch, step towards it, Throw your hands at it, boys. I agree with that. I mean, I agree with him. I mean, but look, guys, it's not going to change now. I mean, it's not going to change now. Our approach at the plate's not going to change. It's kind of you. I feel like with this team and their approach at the plate, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You just gotta pray to sweet baby Jesus up above, dear sweet 8 pound, 6 ounce, lovely baby Jesus, that they miss some spots and they get the ball over the heart of the plate, and LSU just starts yanking the ball all over the place. If it were me, I would make a small adjustment. I don't think that Paul will do that because you've gotten this far with the lineup that he just inserted. I don't know if you don't put Bianco in the 2-hole. I know Arnold's giving you some good at-bats, but the way that Bianco's getting on base, even it feels like if Bianco strikes out somehow, some way, he's going to find a way to get himself on third base. It's the craziest thing ever. I mean, the kid just plays with so much heart. So much heart. Blake Press says, God, no, he's bad. Well, look, Jeff Willis, he's not bad, but Jeff Willis does want a look, he wants a shot. David Nolas 985 says Drew playing for his daddy to get the job. That's the damn truth. Are they still leading? Are they still up? Guys, give me the Ole Miss score in the chat. Are they still winning? Because I saw them hit the bomb before we came on here. Justin says, yeah, the other options have been so much better, not saying catcher, but at DH. They've given you an opportunity. I don't want to say they've been better. They've definitely given you the opportunity, right? Like, they've certainly given you an opportunity. I mean, I feel like Dross gives you a better opportunity right now than Beloso does. And this is not going to be a Beloso beat-up fest tonight. I'm not doing like I would on – like people can, say I do for Miles Brennan. I'm not going to do that. Brian Parent says, do you leave Milazzo in at catcher for his arm tomorrow because he's a giving out the plate? I mean, I feel like you got to run that same lineup back out there, guys. I mean, what you going to do? Start Jake Wyeth? Start Brody Drost? I mean, Brody what's the kid's name? Doty, the other Doty. I almost called him Brody Doty. I mean, what you going to do there? I mean, I feel like you at this point you got to kind of keep Milazzo in there. I mean, they got you there. We'll see. I mean, I don't think he's going to pull him. Here's another thing. I feel like, yeah, you need a guy that can be really good behind the plate, but you cannot have an instant out at the plate. Guys, he's hitting 140. Actually, it's below that. Let me look it up. Hold on. He's not even hitting 140 anymore. His last plate appearance, I remember thinking to myself, how the shit are we playing a kid that's hitting 140? 138. The kid's hitting 138, y'all. I mean, I kind of feel like at some point you got to give something up with that. Now, he's damn good defensively, but shit, he's horrendous. I mean, it kind of feels like you wish you had a two-way player and let somebody DH for Milazzo. I know that shit would never happen, but I'm just saying. Steven on Facebook says, Steven Saya says, any options or opinions on the umpire being way too inconsistent with balls and strikes and equality in calls for both teams? Yeah, I mean, he was certainly giving Tennessee more. And I'm not the individual who blames stuff on umpires. I mean, you look, guys, you have 27 outs that you have to go through and you have to play. But he does hold a critical spot. He holds a critical key and a component in the game. C. Wilkin 21 on Twitter says Coleman's D let him down. Yeah, you would have been up 3-2, or down 3-2. Excuse me. You would have been down 3-2. If Doty would have been able to get that out at first. I mean, you're not up. You're only down a run. You can do a lot of things on being only down a run. We'll see. I mean, Robbie Robeek says Morgan has to get out of his own head. You could tell the kid was struggling. kid's going to be special. Hope he bounces back tomorrow. Yeah, it feels like he never has back-to-back bad games like that. He has the last 2 games. I think they'll be fine. And look, I feel like I'm going to say this right now. I feel like LSU is going to be fine tomorrow. I never thought going into this series, this is how I pictured it. And I probably should have said it this past week, but I kind of didn't want to jinx us. I told a couple of people, and I kind of mentioned it on some radio shows. I said I thought LSU, it would be really nice if they could steal game 1. And I said steal because that's what you'd be doing. You'd be stealing game 1. This series was going to go 3 no matter what. Was going to go 3 no matter what. So I'm not freaking out. I'm not going to freak out tomorrow. I hope they don't lose for Paul Maneri, but we'll see. We'll see. So I kind of agree with this. Who said this? Brian Williams says plate discipline is horrible. Yeah. Lance Richard says, how does a school of LSU's caliber have a starting catcher that can't even sniff to a 200 average? I hate to say it like this, but no, I'm going to make this statement, guys, to all 209 of you. So I'm going to make this statement. So don't butcher me when I say this. I do feel like Nolan Cain has been at times a really good recruiter for LSU. I do feel like at times Nolan Cain has been a really shitty recruiter for LSU, a really bad one. You heard the announcers tonight. They didn't even watch Zach Arnold play in high school. They took the word of a scout who said that this could play. Never saw the kid play a day in his life, and they took him. And now, thank God, he's a starter. Praise Jesus, he's a starter. But what if I would have come out here one day, and we've kind of already done this for other coaches, God forbid, what if Orgeron would have said, hey, we're signing a 3-star kid, we're going to pass on a 4-star kid, we're going to start a 3-star kid, but I never saw him play. Not a day in my life have I seen Zach Arnold play. I mean, what did Alex Milazzo do in high school at the plate to make you think that he was going to be able to hit SEC pitching? I mean, what did he do? Because I'll tell you what he did. Nothing. Ronald Barnes says, do you think Morgan and Cruz are wearing down because of the length of the season as freshmen? Ronald, I would think that there's something there. I would think that there's something there, but there's freshmen all across the country that aren't wearing down. I do feel like, though, that they have put a lot of pressure on themselves. They got to go out there and let it rip. They just got to go out there and let it rip. And let's not sugarcoat this. Chad Dallas is a good pitcher. They had a good closer tonight. I don't think that and I know this. I mean, this isn't even something that is even debatable. There are 2 guys not better than Landon Marceaux. So you got to get out on Tennessee early, and you got to keep that lead because Marceaux can keep you there. Elliot says on Facebook, Travinsky's out for the season. Yeah, he's not going to be playing. He's got to have Tommy John surgery if he hadn't already had it. Richie says we literally swung at every pitch in the first inning. LOL, terrible plate approach. Yeah, they felt a little tight. They felt a little tight. Chris Barnhill asked me what I'm drinking. Water. No drinking tonight from me, guys. No drinking tonight from me. Nookie says Beloso has 3 home runs all year. I don't know what's wrong with that kid at the plate. It just feels like his stance, that his approach is all wrong. I don't know. Chol says we need help. Yeah, we need help. But look, guys, we're in a super regional. I'm not going to, and this is baseball, I'm not going to freak out over a one loss in an opening game series. You got now the shit's real. If shit wasn't real tonight, shit's really real right now. Tony Two Bets says if the dude hasn't gotten a hit in 2 months, you can't keep rolling him out there. No, you really can't. You really can't. Again, but I don't know what else you could do at this point. I mean, Hilliard gives you solid innings. He gives up the run, but that doesn't really mean anything because then you get the other run from Bianco. You go up 2-1, you pull him. Yeah, I get that Coleman gives up a couple of runs. The Doty error that really hurts you there, like really, really hurts you. Guys, you have one out, runners on first and third. You can do a lot of things if you're only down a run. You could put the pressure on. That hurts a lot. That error hurts a lot. And I'm not going to put everything on Doty. I saw some people on Twitter saying all this is Doty's fault. This isn't Doty's fault. Doty gave you a run, and then he gave one up. That's not on Doty. Get out of here with that. Doty didn't strike out 16 times. Doty didn't go 3 of 15 at the plate in the first four batters. He didn't do that. I don't think my phone is connecting tonight. We'll see. We'll see. C. Wilkinson says 2 runs aren't going to win 99% of games. Not in the SEC, they're not. Not in the SEC. So again, we can bitch all we want and complain all we want about Hilliard getting pulled and Javen Coleman and all this kind of stuff. But Javen, look, and especially with the umpire being as bad as he was tonight. So let's see. Daryl Fontenot says, I know Travinsky was hurt. Can he swing a bat now? I doubt it. I doubt he can even extend that elbow. I highly doubt he can even extend his elbow. No, but look, Jake Wyeth, I mean, somebody you can run out there and give you a cut. Somebody can go out there and give you a hack. You know, the other Doty kid, I mean, the last time we saw him was against Louisiana Tech, and he almost hit a bomb. I'm not saying that he can go in here and hit SEC pitching. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know if he can't. Braden Doty, that's it. Braden. I mean, I kind of speechless a little bit, y'all. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm kind of to the point in the season where there's not really a lot else you can do. What else do you want him to do? I mean, yeah, the Beloso thing, but guys, you have a kid in what's his name? The kid out in Lake Charles, that's from Barb, signs with Mississippi State. Blake, they had the number 1 recruiting class. But, guys, you have kids from Louisiana. Think about this. You've had kids from the state of Louisiana leave and sign elsewhere. And the announcer tonight talked about the Zach Arnold recruitment and said they never saw him play a day in their life. And you wonder about depth on this team. I'm not trying to bitch up on Nolan Kane here, but good googly moogly. You know who had a lot of top 5 recruiting classes too in his tenure at LSU? Les Miles, and he was shit. You can get top-ranked guys to come to LSU, but what you can't do is have kids from Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, wherever in the hell they are, and let them go sign elsewhere. You want to know about depth. Why don't I have depth, and why does Arkansas have depth? Paul Maneri runs out there in a post-game conference about a month and a half ago and says, I really wonder where Arkansas finds all these guys. That's what he said, and we wonder why he's retiring. I love the guy. I want him to get to Omaha. And I'm not freaking out about one game, especially when you got Landon Marceaux coming in tomorrow. Kyle says, blame Doty, not Coleman. Well, you can't really blame Doty either. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing. I mean, you still be up a run. They'd still be up a run. But you cannot blame K. Doty on striking out 16 times. Neither can you Coleman. That is baseball is a team game. That loss is on the team. It's not on any one individual. Your best hitter, arguably one of your best hitters at the plate, guys, struck out 4 times tonight, and we're blaming it on Doty, and we're blaming it on Coleman. So there's no way I can do that. Alex Rebler says approach to the plate is still garbage. That it is. Peggy Red, the LSU super fan, Miss Peggy Red, says tonight's LSU game. Tonight LSU gave the game away. Hilliard 1 or 2 more innings. When Coleman came in, Ump didn't call strike 3. Coleman was rattled and the melting occurred. Guys, I'm not going to get off this 16 strikeouts though. I mean, I get what you guys are saying. I thought it was a little too early to pull Ma'Khel Hilliard. I mean, we also don't know what was going on with Ma'Khel Hilliard. Was he hurt? I mean, he pitched a lot last weekend too. Guys, do me a favor. Everybody is watching on Facebook, everyone that's watching on Twitter. At the end of the show, we're like 50. We're 280 of you right now. I know somebody in there is not subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're literally close to 1,000. So as soon as we're done with the show, go over to our YouTube page. It's right there. I'm backwards. My camera's backwards. Right there. Are You Serious Sports, AYS Sports. Go hit that subscribe button, notification bell. You get all our live shows, videos, clips, and stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget, because the Louisiana sports gambling thing, I know I talked about them in the beginning of the show, but betonline.ag, with everything that's about to be going on with the mobile betting devices and stuff like that, go over to betonline.ag. It's going to be phenomenal. We'll probably have it right before football season. Just get ready to sign up. Get you the first deposit at 50% off. It's going to be awesome. Cameron says Doty's mental error, unfortunately, was the difference. Guys, if you've been listening to me for a long time, and we've been doing this, October will be 4 years, not the shows, but just doing AYS for over 4 years. To me personally, yes, can one play be a huge difference in a game? Yes. One play does not cost you the game. It does not cost you the game. Nor does it might win you a game if a guy makes a field goal, if a guy hits a walk-off home run. Yeah, sure. But you had to be able to get to the situation there before. Right? So Coleman did give up a couple of runs. Beloso, Morgan, Cruz, Dugas, all those guys looked horrible at the plate tonight. This is a team loss. This is not on one individual. We cannot go in there and say and believe that it's on one individual, because quite honestly, it's not. Let's get a couple more and we'll get on out of here. Kurt Paul says, I got some crap to say. Take my call. Well, it hasn't been ringing on our end, so it must be our calls are down. Brandon says it also comes down to mental toughness. Yeah, and look, it's not going to change. I think that this team is mentally tough. What I do feel like though is that this team can bounce back. We've seen it. P. Canizero 35 on Twitter says hitters have to be better, but Ma'Khel Hilliard was matching Dallas. Only 76 pitches, can't take him out. If you want to use that one, okay, I can go with you there. Like, I can go with you there, but what I'm not going to say is I'm not going to put this on Cade Doty. There's no way I'm putting this on Cade Doty. Kyle says, Blake, isn't Doty a catcher? No, Doty's not a catcher. Oh, let me back up. So there's two Dotys. You have Cade Doty, who plays third, and his older brother, who is a senior, who is a catcher. But he at this point in the season, I mean, you'd be kind of running him out there. They're not going to start Doty. They're not going to start him. And they're not going to go to him. I'm just throwing out spitballs there. Elliot Dorr says, I thought we had hired one. Thought we had hired one what? Darren says, hashtag ask Blake, put Peterson out there. He hits nukes. That he does. He does hit nukes. Speaking of nukes and nuclear bombs, let me say this. There was a piece that was written this past week about someone mentioning that they were dropping a nuclear bomb. This LSU baseball coaching search has been absolutely horrendous from the reporting aspect. Every night, people come in here and ask me, Blake, who's it going to be? 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 And I keep running my happy ass out here saying it's not over yet. There's rumors, but it's not over yet. The reporting on this shit has been so bad. If you're going to drop a nuclear bomb, let me emphasize this. If you're going to say and you're going to report that you're dropping a nuclear bomb on the LSU baseball coaching search, and you run out there in an article and you say, I hear something was Pat Casey was a smokescreen, and it could be Bianco and it could be Clint Godwin. Look, all I'm going to say is this. I told you it wouldn't be Kevin O'Sullivan, and I told you it wouldn't be Pat Casey. Now, our Pat Casey video from Wednesday from an audio podcast side went kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs from the downloads and listens, which I greatly appreciate. Kevin O'Sullivan did not I wish I would have had a show that I could have said this Friday. Kevin O'Sullivan did not pull his name out from the LSU coaching search. That shit is not true. It's not true. What also is not true is that the board did not deny Scott Woolward in talking or making a hire of anyone. That's also not true. The board's not meeting until the 18th, which is in 6 days. Now, they can hint, but Richard Lipsey, who's the biggest booster of LSU, is letting Scott Woolward do whatever the hell he wants, and I know that for a damn near almost. Okay? I hope you read my lips there, but come on. Scott Woolward brought Jimbo Fisher to A&M, Chris Peterson to Washington, Kim Mulkey to LSU, and you think that these boosters are telling him this time not to hire somebody, and you think that Scott Woolward is dumb enough to not research Kevin O'Sullivan and having an affair with a woman and all that shit going on behind the scenes? Get out of here. Pat Casey. And here's another thing. People are out here trying to convince me. Multitudes of people are out here trying to convince me that Kirk Heimlich, I said this, and I'm going to end this one here, that Kirk Heimlich, the former Oregon State pitcher who had court-mandated therapy sessions during the baseball season, had court-mandated court dates during the baseball season, just so happens somehow, some way that his head coach didn't know that he was a registered sex offender. He was the top candidate. Guys, stop listening to this Rudy Poo bitch-ass reporting. It's not going to get you anywhere. Everybody wants to be first. I've fallen into the sword a couple of times trying to hint some shit out there and not 4 years ago, not now. Let me emphasize that too. 4 years ago, not now. When I was fresh in the game, and I'd believe everybody. I would believe a board member. I'd believe a booster. I'd believe someone. I would call LSU and try to confirm a story, and they say, yeah, it's about to happen, and then it wouldn't happen. Thank God I didn't run anything. You got to get multitudes of sources, multitudes of things you got to run out there and get. And these freaking Rudy Poos aren't doing it. They told you that. I heard tonight someone came to me and said, and I forget who it was, so pardon me. Someone came to me tonight and said that they had a deal done with Bianco. Someone somewhat reporting that a deal was completely done with Bianco and that he signed. Guys, he didn't sign anything. He didn't. Bianco at Ole Miss did not sign a contract to become the next head coach of LSU right now. I'm not saying Bianco's not going to be it. Mike Bianco. Not saying it's not going to be it, but I just kind of have to get this off my chest. But Jesus Christ. We want to run out here with this stupid ass reporting. Thank you, Phil Tittle says Ole Miss is now up 7-0 in the bottom two. Oh, and you don't want Mike Bianco? Who's saying you don't want Mike Bianco? I mean, Ole Miss is not LSU. Ole Miss can't get the players that Ole Miss cannot get the players that LSU can. Sorry to kind of go off on a little bit of a rant there, but I'm tired of seeing the bullshit. So if you're going to drop a nuclear bomb and say it might be somebody, the first thing you should have never said is might be somebody. Shane says, Blake, I love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Thank you. Josh Wright says, why does Milazzo hit? Because they have nobody else that can catch. Todd says, this is a team that can bounce back. They play their best with their backs on the wall. I agree with that one. That's why I'm not kind of freaking out. And look, if I don't want LSU to lose, I feel confident about tomorrow. We'll see. Blake Doucette says, nope, not on Doty, but Cruz and Morgan striking out makes a big deal. Yeah, I mean, and they're not the only ones. Elliot says, thought we had brought in a hitting coach this season. We did. Justin says, Tony Vitello may be a good coach, but the dude is a crybaby. That he is. Damn good coach, but he cries a lot. Driving around in a Lamborghini, though. Trent says, we are who we thought we are. We are more than capable to come out tomorrow and turn it around. I agree with that. We have to play our best baseball of the year, and we know that. We didn't do that tonight. No, we didn't. But again, we'll see. Mark says, Bianco after the season's over. Possibly. Guys, this shit could go into July. So it's at this point, it's driving me up a fucking wall. Justin Simpson says, hashtag Ask Blake. He says, my boy Moscona is upset we didn't get his boy Sully, and now he's throwing in the towel on the coaching search for a quality coach. It's sad. Well, it never was Sully. You know, I hate to be rude. I'm not being rude to Matt. It never was Sully. Guys, I'm going to tell you something, and I probably shouldn't say this, but they got people out here asking a whole bunch of questions, LSU people asking questions a month and a half ago about 2 months ago about Kevin O'Sullivan. Kevin O'Sullivan's name came up 2.5 months ago. And just so now they found out that he's got some off-the-field issues, get out of here with that. Guys, get out of here with that. You mean to tell me Scott Woolward didn't know that man had baggage? It's like trying to convince me that that Pat Casey didn't know that Kurt Heinrich had to go to a court in Washington to come to Oregon and transfer all of his stuff over, get court-mandated shrink and court-mandated therapy sessions and register as a sex offender. You mean is someone going to try to convince me that man didn't know? And here's the crazy part about that. Yeah, okay, maybe take the kid out of it. Pat Casey lied about it and tried to cover it up. So it has nothing to do if the kid was justified and he did nothing wrong and we can figure that out and all that kind of stuff. The kid was a registered sex offender. Pat Casey lied about it. Oh, by the way, LSU has a shit ton of Title IX issues. Let's see. Jordan Wilkinson, what's up, buddy? He says, understood the call to move to Coleman. He's been your guy lately, but I would have liked to see Hilliard get into the sixth. He got a runner on. Coleman had 0-2 and second batter with one out, then walked him. Then the Doty mishap kills you. Yeah, it does kill you. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to be a little honest, and he had bases loaded, and that game could have broken wide open. He gives you a strike three on a curveball in the inside half that was just beautiful, and he gets you out of the inning. You're only down 2 runs. That's the crazy thing. Guys, you got to be able, with 3 innings left to go, you got to be able to eke out a run. David says, I do agree with you, Blake. LSU can probably pull this thing off, let it rip. Yeah, they can pull it off. Guys, they can pull this thing off. Let's not get this twisted. LSU can pull this series off, but to think that this series was, guys, this is LSU. When is shit not chaotic? Did we really think that we were going to go out there and win the first 2 games? Let's be real with ourselves. Did you really think a Pulmonary baseball team was not going to bring all kinds of drama? Come on, man. Come on. There's a reason everybody in the state of Louisiana who's an LSU fan has blood pressure medication, because it's always chaotic. Jeremy Fontana says, what did I miss about Scone? What did he say about you? He had some choice words, But I'm going to end this one here. I'm just going to end it here. He had some choice words for me Friday. I'm going to end this one here. Say my name. Say my name. I'll say yours, you say mine. Let's roll with it, cuz, because I don't back down from no fucking body. I'll say the word. Brandon Reese says, Wilbur knows he has to get this baseball hire right. I agree with that. I agree with that one. Sorry for the curse words, but I'm not going to back down from nobody. Kate says, Drost, no doubt. I'd give him a shot. I'd give him a shot. I'd give him a shot. Justin says, draws for sure, no question. Carl Dunn says, pump the damn brakes. Coach will be hired. Let's win tomorrow, period. Yeah, I agree with that one. I agree with that one. You got to win. And I think that Carl the Cat, what's up, brother? Love you, man. Carl the Cat's right. We're gonna get a coach. That's not the problem. Getting a coach is not the problem. Winning a game right now is the problem. I think, look, I'm going to make a prediction. I might be right. I might be wrong, but I'm going to roll it out there anyway. I think LSU wins by at least one. Well, they got to win by at least one, by at least two tomorrow. I'm going to make that prediction. I'm not going to give you the score. I think LSU turns it up. I think they get a win. It's really tough to beat a team five times in a row. Really tough in baseball to beat a team 5 times in a row. And if Tennessee does, you got to tip your cap to them. It's been a hell of a ride for Pulmonary, but I think that this team's going to bounce back in a good way. Okay, a couple more. We're getting out of here. Mason says, you're an all right guy, Blake. Keep up the good work, brother. Thank you. Richard says, what did Scone say about AYS? Basically that I'm a little podcast guy, but I see that I have 280 people in here watching us live right now. So call me what you want to call me. Say my name. Don't say I'm a little vlogger and all this shit. Say my name. You want to make fun of me. You want to talk that, it's like the old song from Bootsy. You want to talk shit. You want to run your mouth. You want some gangsters outside your house. We'll set this thing off. Say my name. That's all. I'm going to end it there. I'm not going to say anything else about the man because of clearly, he doesn't understand what's going on. All right, last one. Chris Williams says Marceaux will throw a complete game. Man, that would be huge if he could. They'd be very, very, very huge if he could. Very, very huge. All right, guys, we will see y'all tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to do a post-game show. Usually I don't do one on Sundays on the Lord's Day, but we'll see. We will see. All right, guys, we will see y'all again soon. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Let's go win this thing. Let's go win this freaking thing, bro. I think LSU's going to win tomorrow. I got confidence. I might be wrong. But I got confidence they'll win it. All right, guys, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see y'all. Have a good night, guys.